Hello, hello, hello. Jordan Sheridan, live Friday, November 12th, 2021. Hope everyone's having an okay Friday. Hope everybody has decent weekend plans. Hope everybody is safe in these still trying times. Lot going on, lot going on. And we have our Rockfin Premium show coming up about 15 minutes. And I am looking forward to that. Got an interview with Starbucks workers in Buffalo, the union busting going on there, which we covered on the ground in Buffalo 2 weeks ago. It was bad when we were there. It's gotten a lot worse. It's gotten a lot worse. So I interviewed some of the Starbucks workers that are part of the union drive the other day. And we will be airing that at 4 o'clock on Rockfin, Status Coup's Rockfin show. And we also will have Steve Grumbine, friend of the Coup, at 4:30 on our Rockfin Premium show. There's a lot of chatter in the media right now, a lot of chatter on inflation. And some folks at the corporate media, MSNBC and the like, seem to think that the rise in prices are because we're giving those workers too much money. So we're going to talk to Steve Grumbine about that. Also, numbers that came out today of record numbers of Americans are quitting their jobs. A record 4.4 million Americans quit their jobs in September. It's a record. What's going on here? What's going on? So we're going to talk to Steve about that. So looking forward to that. Please smash the like button. This live stream will be short. This is our teaser before our Rockfin stream. If you don't know the drill, 1 second. Let me just make sure I remember to do something. Hold on. Nicholas, 4 p.m. stream. Hold on, folks. God, gotta love doing everything. 4 p.m. Eastern stream coming up. We go live once a week on Rockfin Premium, so you have to be a Rockfin Premium member to see this stream. What's different about Rockfin, we get to cover a lot of things we wouldn't cover on YouTube. Censorship. Speaking of censorship, Colin, I don't know if you're okay right now. Come on, so we could tell the audience what YouTube did to our Rudy Giuliani video, if you have a second. So,
yeah.
YouTube, this is part of why we're on Rockfin once a week, but YouTube took down, I do something which I will be doing soon for Thanksgiving. I do something called Top Turkeys of the Year around Thanksgiving. So kind of poking at the worst buffoons, hypocrites, criminals, Neanderthals of the year. And I did this for Thanksgiving, and Rudy Giuliani was, of course, one of my top turkeys of 2020. And a year later now, YouTube took that video down. What did they claim?
For harassment and cyberbullying.
So YouTube took down our top turkey video, which included Rudy Giuliani, because I was cyberbullying poor Rudy.
We got that warning, and my first thought was, oh, I guess Rudy found our video and did a little flag or whatever. So I'll just appeal this real quick, and YouTube will fix it. And YouTube responded with, no, this is for sure cyberbullying, and completely deleted the video. Like, I already, just for fun, downloaded it already. But like, if I went in right now, I can't even download or view the video at all anymore.
So I don't know if I'll be able to do my top turkeys this year. I might have to change it to something else, like top souffle, top Thanksgiving souffle instead of turkeys. So, maybe we'll get around YouTube's algorithm. Anyway, but we go on Thank you, Con. We go on Rockfin in part. We don't get censored on Rockfin. We can cover whatever we want, however we want to cover it. And the second part, Rockfin's growing, and we, being on Rockfin, are able to get a flat guarantee every month from Rockfin, which we do not get from YouTube because of what YouTube has been doing with all this suppression and hiding our channel and burying us in algorithms. We have been making a lot less on YouTube. So being on Rockfin, of course, the content perk No censorship, can cover whatever we want. But also we get a flat guarantee from Rockfin. So you got to be a Rockfin premium member to watch this live stream. We do it once a week on Rockfin. It's $9.99 a month to join Rockfin. Might not be doable for some people. Hopefully, if it is doable for you, sign up at rockfin.com/statuscoup. That's rockfin.com/statuscoup. The important thing is signing up through Rockfin's Status Coup channel. We get the subscriber. So Rockfin obviously gets a new subscriber, but it's from us. So it goes to our count in terms of Rockfin subscribers that we bring to Rockfin. And the more subscribers we get to Rockfin, the more money we make on Rockfin. So that's how it goes. This money is not the money we make from Rockfin or anywhere is not, going to so we can play blackjack. It's going to fund the on-the-ground reporting. If you were paying attention, we were just on the road for 2 weeks covering the John Deere strikes in Iowa and Illinois, then in Buffalo covering India Walton's election, covering the Starbucks workers that are fighting to form a union there, and the Mercy hospital workers who were on strike, who just fortunately got a contract after we left. They agreed to a contract. So if you can, sign up, rockfin.com/statuscoup. You get our content, our premium Rockfin channel, and also other premium shows on Rockfin. I know Lee Camp is on Rockfin, Graham Elwood, Ron Bacone. There's a lot of great folks on Rockfin. So rockfin.com/statuscoup. If you can't sign up as a premium member, we do cut smaller clips from our Rockfin live stream and put it on the YouTube channel too. How many people are on Rockfin now that are Status Coup members? Colin, what are we at? Over 100 now? I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure we're over 100 on Rockfin. So that's great to be over 100. But we want to grow more. I don't want to get into all the behind the scenes particulars, but the more subscribers we bring to Rockfin, the more money we make on Rockfin, guaranteed amount we make. So I think I haven't looked at the number recently, but I know we were over 100 recently. So we want to keep growing. And, I think a lot of folks, I understand if you're a Status Coup member, we do not want you to cancel your Status Coup membership. If you can't do both, that's perfectly fine. But we have had a lot of Status Coup members who have actually signed up for both, who are Status Coup members, but then signed up for Rockfin to give us additional support. So we really appreciate all those that did that. So if you can, rockfin.com/statuscoup. It's $9.99 a month. Coming up on our show in about 10 minutes, I interviewed 3 Starbucks workers yesterday. I mean, honestly, I've been covering a lot of the unions, the attempts to form unions, Amazon's union busting. I've also been covering the strikes. What Starbucks is doing, I've never seen, I've never heard of before. It is so in your face. And frankly, and we'll get into this with the 3 workers I interviewed, it just seems like blinking red lights illegal if labor laws even matter anymore in this country. Maybe they don't. Starbucks is on an all-out offensive to stop these Buffalo Starbucks workers from successfully forming a union. The ballots went out 2 days ago for the union election. So the ballots went out on November 10th. On December 9th, the ballots get counted. But before the ballots went out, Starbucks attempted to stop the election from even happening. And they also they filed with a judge to basically get the judge to stop the ballots from going out over some technicality that Starbucks said. It shouldn't be 3 stores in Buffalo that petition. It should have to be all the stores that together try to form a union, not just individual stores. But also Starbucks basically, it was a voluntary thing, but kind of with the implications show up. Starbucks brought workers in Buffalo over to a downtown hotel where Howard Schultz, the chairman of Starbucks, he's not day-to-day running Starbucks anymore. I think he's like chairman emeritus or some fancy title, where Howard Schultz was basically giving a half-hour to 40-minute lecture to these workers to try and tell them vote no on the union. And in that lecture, which I'm going to talk to the Starbucks workers about coming up on our Rockfin show, he invoked the Holocaust. He invoked the Holocaust as some analogy in comparison to their attempts to form a union. So that's what we're dealing with here in the United Corporations of America, where wealthy white people running Starbucks come in and try to intimidate workers by basically making a Holocaust analogy to try and convince them not to vote yes on a union. So just wait. Just wait. I interviewed 3 workers. I think it's about a 25-minute interview. So we'll be airing that during our Rockfin stream coming up. Also, after that interview, Steve Grumbine will be joining the stream. A lot of talk going on. A lot of talk right now from Real Progressives. A lot of talk right now about inflation. A lot of people ranting about inflation who have their own motivations and are pushing a lot of stuff that's not particularly factual about inflation. Steve Grumbine knows a lot, obviously modern monetary theory, inflation. So he's going to be providing fact versus fiction on inflation. There's also the fact, Colin, if you could show it real quick, record numbers of Americans are quitting. This just came out today. A record 4.4 million Americans quit their jobs in September as the labor market tumult continued. So let me read a little bit. A record 4.4 million Americans quit their jobs in September as Americans continued to take advantage of ample job openings to look for alternatives, a sign of how imbalances in the labor market continue to complicate the economic recovery 20 months into the pandemic. September's quit numbers constituted 3% of the workforce, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That number is up from the previous record set in August, when 4.3 million people quit their jobs, about 2.9% of the workforce. The statistics reflect the changes that continue to wrench the labor market after the pandemic upended the course of business. Americans are quitting their jobs for a number of reasons. So, the story goes on to say in September, when the Delta variant of the coronavirus reached its recent peak, child care and schooling pressures forced many employees to rethink their daily routine. Many other workers, meanwhile, were lured to other jobs because of better pay and benefits as employers became desperate to fill openings. Hey, that's a good thing. But if you listen to MSNBC, wait for this clip that we're going to play. If you listen to MSNBC, yeah, that inflation because we're giving the workers too much, I tell you. So we are going to speak with Steve about that. Mike, I encourage you to question MMT talking points. I will. I'm a modern monetary theory guy. I agree with Steve. I do think I'd like to know what he thinks about inflation, because modern monetary theory in general, the main thing with it is we do have the money to fund all of this. We have a finite and endless money supply, but that comes with having to focus on inflation, making sure it doesn't go, inflation doesn't become a problem. So we will have to hear Steve and modern monetary theory's explanation for this inflation. So that's coming up soon. But listen, I could only ask. I'm not beyond begging. I really, really hope we could get more of you to sign up to our Rockfin channel. Our goal is to grow our Rockfin channel to do more, possibly down the road, more than once a week on Rockfin. Right now, we're just doing one weekly exclusive on Rockfin, the rest on YouTube. But to do more on Rockfin, to actually, if we grow on Rockfin and more money is coming, to actually produce more shows focusing on historical stuff. So Jan and I had done some stuff on JFK's assassination. Can't talk about that here. We have done some stuff on 9/11. Cannot talk about that here. We'd like to do a whole lot more stuff on the military-industrial complex. We'd like to do a whole lot more stuff on the connection between the politicians and the mafia. We'd like to do a whole lot more stuff on, oh my God, if you even knew half of Wall Street's crimes. And there's a whole lot of ties between Wall Street and organized crime. But can't do a lot of that here. You have risks of videos and live streams getting demonetized. In some cases, you have risks of your whole channel being demonetized, and you have risks in, hopefully not, cases of your channel being tanked and taken off. So we hope you'll sign up, rockfin.com/statuscoup, $9.99 a month. And of course, you get our content as well as other hosts that are on Rockfin. Let me read a couple questions, comments, concerns before we move over to Rockfin. And by the way, welcome somebody. Kylie is over it. Just signed up as a Status Coup YouTube member. So thank you. What is flawed with MMT descriptive analysis? I'll ask Steve. Inflation is a very real concern, but MMT's descriptive analysis is flawed. Mike Holden. Okay, well, I will. I'm going to copy your comment, Mike. Sign up for Rockfin. Hop on over, and I'll ask Steve about Mike Holden's comment about MMT's descriptive analysis being flawed. Henry, 2 types of inflation. What we have right now is cost push inflation. CC, I made an extra nickel since Biden got elected. I quit. I'm glad to hear it. Carla, do they need help? Do they need some help from Buffaloes? You'll have to come over to Rockfin to watch my interview with the Starbucks workers, hear what they need from you guys. CC, I bet you missed Trump to make money off of, but I digress. It seems that Biden administration is winning. I don't know if you watch this channel because we actually, probably more so than most, did not cover Trump while he was president. We covered everything else in between. We probably would have made a whole lot more money if I actually covered Trump 24/7 and sprinkled it in with Russia and Stormy Daniels. We'd probably be at 1 million subscribers by now if we just did all that. But we didn't. We didn't. Beauty and the Diabetes. I watched that video you shared with Trish. It's an eye-opener for sure. I don't know what video you're talking about, but okay. Why do you think that's not correct? Okay. All right, folks. We're moving over to Rockfin. I really, really hope you'll sign up. Again, rockfin.com/statuscoup. We'll be on interviewing Starbucks workers, and then Steve Grumbine is going to join us live. So sign up, rockfin.com/statuscoup. I will see you over on Rockfin in just a few minutes.